Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, on our board here, we had our discussion from our last video. And as usual, we'll go through a little review because some of the information will be applicable to our next video. So in this one, we talked about there is only one mind. Now, most of the work, I like my new board because most of the work was done on the other side. So let me flip this over and we will take a look at the other side of our discussion. And so this is our model that we use for the last video. And we talked about the mind and body connection. Mind-body as an entangled energy system, in the fact that mind and body are one system in the illusion. And from that one system, we are connected to the infinite field of everything, the all, hermetic the all, and consciousness. This energy system is fundamental, and this is our connection to mind-body entanglement. So we're not going to see a separate body and a separate mind in the illusion. They're entangled together. And so in doing that, we recognize that we are embedded, all of us, everything, is embedded in this infinite field of everything. And therefore, we're all connected to it. We're all connected to this one consciousness. And in that, all of these other body-mind connections are all connected to the infinite field of everything. And therefore, whether you are an animate object or an inanimate object in the illusion, your consciousness, nothing exists without consciousness. And therefore, everything you look at, you experience, has at its root the energy of consciousness. And we are all connected. And so that's what we talked about in the last video, and we will reference that. I'll reference it up here. Now, let's just look at the rest of what we talked about here in our last video. And this was looking at patterns. Research always looks for patterns, repeatable patterns, to find out what causes them. And we mentioned the giant collider in Europe, the Hadron Collider, and how they take stuff together and they smash it into each other very high speeds. And when they crash together, they let out patterns of energy all over. And they take pictures. Oh, they make wonderful pictures. And then we have patterns. And that's what this represents. And from the patterns, we determine what's the cause, what makes the pattern, what makes the path of the sparks the way they are, what makes the trail the way it is, what makes the wake the way it is. Now, we have all kinds of subatomic particles that we investigate with the Great Hadron Collider. And we see a lot of patterns, but we don't see the cause. The cause is, which is an after effect. The cause is an effect after the collision, experience of the collision. It's an interpretation. It's a human interpretation. And so, like proteins and gluons and quarks, nobody ever saw them. They are concepts based upon patterns. And so what causes the patterns is a human construction. And it's constructed the way it is so that other patterns make sense. So the whole thing is just like on the other side. It's all interconnected through the infinite field of everything. Oh, that's what we talked about last time. And wasn't that fun? And we'll reference it up here if I didn't already say that. And now we're going to go on with a different topic altogether now. And this is our subject for this video. And here's what it says. I'll start it with my little paper. It's amazing. Where do thoughts come from? Where do thoughts come from? Well, we all have thoughts. Where do they come from? And I'm sad to report, I have to report this to you. We don't know where they come from. But we have some clues. And I'm going to put one of them up here. And it is from the APA, American Psychology Association. APA. They're the ones that put the book out on what you can diagnose as mental health, which is very important because that's what insurance companies pay for. If it's not in the book, you don't get paid for it. So it's a very important group. And here's what they say about thoughts. Thoughts are defined by the process of thinking. So we don't know what thoughts are until we understand thinking, which is very important. Now, we got to put a little thing about thinking. And you'll see it up here, and this is what it says. Thinking may be said to have two defining characteristics. A, it is covert. That is, it is not directly observable, but must be inferred through action or self-reports. And B, it is symbolic. That is, it seems to involve operations of mental mental symbols or representations, the nature of which remains obscure and controversial. And here's what this organization that has so much to do with mental health is telling you what the thinking is. So, what is thinking? From our definition, from what I just read, it seems like it's a mystery. It's a mystery. And it's controversial. And you can't recognize it directly. So it's a mystery. But let's see if we can cut through some of the mystery and give us some idea of what thoughts are and how they arrive from thinking. So on our little board here, we have a diagram. And in this diagram, right in the center, we have this frame or boundary or framework in which it's defined by your belief system. So your belief system defines the framework of what you think. So life experiences, which are memories, are held inside of here, and from those memories, you convert those into beliefs. So that's why the belief system is here. Now, where is the belief system stored? Nobody knows. But for lack of a place, just so we have some reference, it is in the subconscious mind. It's out of our conscious awareness. And we have this framework on the inside of our belief system, which is our belief system. And from that, this is all we know. All we know is through our life experiences that come to us through our sensory input. And out of that, we develop, through thinking, thoughts. So thoughts arise within the framework of your belief system. That's all you know. You cannot think thoughts outside of your belief system. So this is very active. This process is very active. Now down below this, I have shown a cauldron because there's a lot of heat. There's a fire down here. And we are seeing the thoughts that arise out of this interaction within the framework of your belief system. Now you notice over here also, we have the ego stirring the pot. The ego, your ego, stirring the pot, keeping you on edge. Now, I've done some videos on the ego some time ago, and I'll try to reference one or two of them. But basically, you create your ego. You create your ego. And if you look at those other videos, you'll get an idea, and maybe I'll upgrade those if I have enough interest to talk about how you create your ego and how you change it. So you create your ego, and it's what actually makes the ego in place within your belief system is your belief that it's who you are. See, in other videos, I've shown you as a picture of who you believe yourself to be. And as long as that picture's in place, as long as this ego is stirring the pot, you're not going to change too much. So when you change the ego, I want to have another video called, I think it's called, If You Meet the Ego, Kill It. Your life will be better. So there is a lot of information around here about where thoughts come from. So since they come from inside of your framework of the belief system, which rests in the subconscious mind, behind many defenses. Why is this defended? Because it's what you believe to be true. It's your world. And the subconscious mind has many defenses so that it doesn't change what you believe is your truth. Now, what's that say? You're not going to change until you kill your ego, until you work through the process of change. And there are many ways of doing that. And as I've stated in other videos, manifesting is the process of changing you. You'll change your ego if you use the process as it is intended to support you. So this is very quickly what we want to talk about. Now, let's us look at A Course in Miracles and see what it has to say. Because it has quite a bit to say about thinking and thoughts. Because, as you'll find out, how you think creates your world. And I have another video, I'll see if I can reference it. Your self-talk, because this is self-talk. Your thoughts, you're talking to yourself. Your self-talk creates your world. Your thoughts create the world that you have. And if you don't like it, you got to change the ego. How? You got to kill it in order to change. But as soon as you make your change, you will develop a new ego that will keep you where the new change takes you. So you may kill many egos as you begin to drop the concept that you create your ego. So now, what does the Course say? Here's what it says, and it's in relationship to lesson 11. And so they're going to talk about that lesson a little bit. This is the intro. Today's idea introduces the concept that your thoughts determine the world you see. Your thoughts determine the world you see. And that's what the other video also says. Your self-talk creates your world. So if you want to change, you got to change your self-talk. Why do you think the way you think? Because of your belief system. If you want to change your self-talk, change your thoughts, you have to change your belief system. How do you change your belief system? Well, right now you can ask yourself, which of my very favorite beliefs do I want to throw out in order to change and become something different? In order to change and become something different, what do I have to throw out? Oh, this is very, esoteric at some level. Now, I was going to mention before, I have up here Osho. Osho is kind of a mystic. He's not in this world anymore, but he has a lot of videos, and I watch them every once in a while. And I use his model in talking about the ego. So here we have the ego stirring the pot, keeping you upset, keeping you where you're at, and so upset that you can't change. And when you begin to recognize that, you can change. And you change by changing this framework. You make it bigger so that you can think different thoughts that arise from this cauldron that your ego has got you involved in. Oh, there's much to talk about here in the illusion. And just take a look at this. Look at some of the other videos. And if there's any interest, I'll do another one on through Osho, a model of how the ego is formed. Look forward to seeing you next time, right here in the illusion. Bye now.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción, yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente. Con una pasión tan fuerte. Ay, 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 ay. Ahora sigo cantando y sigo gozando. Yo sigo cantando y sigo gozando.